Welcome back to my channel. My name is AJ McMullen and I am a sci-fi fantasy author. I recently made a video talking about the disparities of being a victim of a solar panel scam that is plaguing our country. I wanted to talk about right now some of the issues or things that may be stopping some of you from becoming a successful author, let alone business person. This has been something that has been a issue for me for a while now, and it just seems like my family and I have been making decisions that kind of counteract the things that we want to do. And it's because we have this push and pull. My wife and I, we have different mindsets, different brains, but we both know where we want success to be for our family, but at the same time as finding out the right formula to get there. And sometimes things happen and you kind of drop the ball in a few places, and I definitely dropped the ball when it comes to some of the things that I've done. I don't know if you guys have heard this, but life coaches like Gordon Ramsay, Dave Ramsey, Damon John, Gary Vee, like some of these guys will tell you that one of the first things that you should do is get rid of your debt. Like if you have outstanding debt, you should get rid of that. And that will be one of the first steps that you do towards making yourself successful, because liabilities are going to hurt in the accrual of assets. It's very rare that you can, especially in today's economy, you can hardly make enough money to have liability and gain assets at the same time. It just don't usually work that way. So it's always best to get rid of your debt. Well, the biggest problem that I have in my career right now as an author is that I want to buy myself into my career by going to conventions and meeting you guys and shaking hands with people who are also sharing the space and doing this, as I used to do back in the 2021, 2022 era of my life, where my wife and I were traveling to go to different conventions in different states and whatnot. But right now we are essentially suffering under a lot of debt because we tried to go into that direction and we went halfway into that direction, if that makes any sense. So we sold both of our cars, bought a big truck because we thought we were going to be going on the road living in an RV, and that truck now has a big truck payment. Big trucks are not cheap. Our goal was to sell the house off and get an RV, but there was a little issue when it came to selling the house, because in the process of us making that decision, before we got there, we decided that we were going to get solar panels. And when I say we decided, I mean we were pressured into that. And though it is very embarrassing to say that, you fell for it. But a guy came and knocked on the door, and then he passed us off to another guy, and this guy made it make so much sense on paper and had us thinking that we were doing good for the environment. We were going to save some money, and down the line it'll start to give us a return on our investment and all that other stuff like that. In the long run, it just turned out to be a bunch of BS, and now we're paying for it. We have solar panels on our roof. Because we have a loan on the solar panels, it is preventing us from selling the house. We had to pivot, because if selling the house is not an option, well, essentially we could sell the house, but we wouldn't at this point make a profit off of the house at all because of the solar panel loan. So every bit of profit that we could have made off of selling would go directly to that solar panel loan, and then we wouldn't have the solar panels anymore. So it wouldn't even really make any sense. Two of the biggest things that's holding us back right now is that's nearly $100,000 in the rear, because we have two liabilities that are keeping us from actually doing the thing that we said we were going to do, doing the thing that I want to do, pushing my career to the next level. So it has forced me to figure out this online thing. I don't nowhere near make as much money or sell as many books online as I did when I was when I was going to these conventions, which was one of the reasons why going to the conventions was the biggest goal, because if I can't sell books online, where can I go to sell books? Okay, I can go to these conventions. I can put myself in front of people and have conversations with them, and make it easier for them to buy a book from an author that isn't well known. So that was one of the biggest decision makers there. But now we are forced to figure out the online space. If we don't figure out the online space, then the online space right now is the only way that we can actually make any traction and actually make sales on books. And if we make the sales on the books, then we could potentially move out of this situation, because right now my job isn't going to cut it at all, because I'm in a area where somebody who is with prior military service and no degree, the only thing that you can make in this area is $2,000 a month. And that, in today's economy in 2025, you can't do that. So I didn't get on here to complain about anything. I just wanted to share that I had a lot of push and pull of whether I wanted to share my financial situation. But the biggest thing that I wanted to do with this video was kind of share with you guys the behind the scenes of what goes on, and for someone who is aspiring to be a bestseller author. A lot of people can get online and show you the ups and the highlight reels of their career, but not a lot of people are going to get on here and share with you the lows. Today's date is August 29th, 2025, and I think this year I've made somewhere in the tune of $23 on my books. Is that easy to say? It is not. It is nowhere near easy to say, but that is because I have completely switched focus to do online book sales. It's a process. It takes a long time to get up. It's not about just getting online and posting something about your book and they'll come, or just writing the book and putting it online and eventually people will buy it. That's not necessarily the case. So right now I am putting boots to pavement to get something out there, get some things going, and hopefully you guys will start supporting at some point. And yeah, I'll be able to actually get some more content out to you guys, because there's a lot more things that I want to do. It's just a matter of fact that I can't do it because, I'm a full-time father and I work full-time for a living, and I got all this debt that I need to pay off, which is not your fault. I understand it's not your fault, and you shouldn't have to pay for my mistakes. But at the same time, as a human, you understand that, things happen, and I'm human too, just like you, and I make mistakes sometimes. If you want to support me and my work, you can do so by purchasing a book, obviously. One way that you can do that is from my website, ajmcmullen.com, and you can find Legacy of the Arcane and Flame, as well as The Darkest Day, anywhere their books are sold, as well as Before the Flame Conspiracy Codex. You can download that. You can start reading that today on some of the free web novel apps like Web Novel, Radish, and Book Novel and stuff like that. And you can find Before the Flame Conspiracy Codex. Check out my TikTok. I have a lot more content on there. We're trying to go viral, so every bit counts. Like this video, hit that subscribe button. Every bit helps, because I'm fighting algorithms, and that has been the biggest fight for me for 2025, is fighting these algorithms to try to get my content out there. So if you don't mind, go ahead and help your boy out, and I'll keep writing. In the meantime, that's about all I can do, is just keep writing and keep posting content. So if you enjoyed this content, go ahead and hit that like button. Share this information. Share the video with somebody who's going through the same struggle, been dealing with it, and let them know that if this guy could move forward past these challenges that he's going through, then you can too.